This is Inelia Benz for Ascension101.com. On the past few weeks, I have been thinking about all these things that I do in my daily life to raise my personal vibration, my physical body's vibration, the vibration of my environment, society in general as well. And then I thought, if I could just film it and put it on YouTube, then other people could actually start doing the same type of things, yeah? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a series of YouTubes, and I'm going to carry it out for as long as I can, where I go shopping, cooking, and just give the updates for that, energetically speaking, what's happening on the planet that day or that month, that week. I think it's really important for us to stay in touch, and also it provides a lot of validation for the things that we are experiencing that sometimes we might think it's something personal, but when somebody else talks about it, then you realize, hold on a minute, this is something that we're all going through, or maybe a majority of people are going through. So anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. One of them is that I've started a little project about growing our own food. I've heard, and lots of people have sent me information about how growing one's own food is much better because, one, it's organic, if you do it organically, and I would suggest that you do. Secondly, you're able to affect the plants that you're growing through your own DNA. So if you put some saliva on the seeds or on the soil, and there's other ways you can do it as well, and then the food will be genetically will know what it is that you need from the plants. Now, I consider everything that we ingest as that has been alive to be sentient. I consider plants to be sentient, and they're not any way inferior or superior to cows and pigs and chickens and eggs and products like animal products that we might ingest. Plants are also, if you grow them, there are certain plants that produce with their permission and with their elementals' permission. They really can support you physically on the planet. And one of the things that I have tapped into is that they also provide an amazing connection to Gaia, yeah, to our entire planet. They give that bridge of connection to the elementals that are all around us all the time. And they provide that connection with our own physical bodies, because our physical bodies, the atoms and the molecules, are all made of Gaia's material, right? At a larger spectrum, most of it is water, and water is on Earth, yeah? And the water we ingest is part of Earth, is the atoms that have been here, Gaia. And the rest, like the minerals, the calcium, and all the living tissue, the carbon tissue and everything else, are from Gaia's materials. I know there's a lot of people who have stopped eating, and some of them have stopped drinking water, and can live extremely well, healthy lives for many months, years, and sometimes forever. They no longer need that ingestion of materials. And I had a choice to do that a couple of years back. I didn't take it. One of the reasons was that one of the best things that I find about the planet, yeah, are strawberries and chocolate and just the flavor and the whole social aspect of eating as well. And also because I found that putting physical material into my physical body from Gaia gave me that connection, not just with Gaia, but with the rest of human society. Now, that's not going to be like forever, right? As we find other things that bring us that amount of joy and also that connection, because it's very like 3D type of connection when we think about the physical aspects of the food going into our bodies. And I needed that because most of the time I'm not really fully on this planet or on this dimension, so I needed some sort of reinforcing tissue or matter to connect me into it. But as the whole planet's vibration rises, that will become less and less necessary. And I find, even now, for example, I go through cycles where sometimes for days, all I need to do is to drink water. I drink distilled water, and I need a couple of bites of food a day, and that's all I need. And then other times I will eat, and I need loads and loads of food to be able to function properly. And they go through cycles, like sometimes it can be weeks, yeah? Sometimes it's just days. So I'm going to be exploring all these type of things to see, you know, what can we integrate to raise our own personal vibrations and our physical vibration as well. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to introduce you to a gadget. And I'm going to go and fetch it, so I'm going to pause this and then start filming again. Okay, so here's the envelope. It arrived from Australia. I don't know if you remember, a few weeks back I requested, or I sent out an intent that I had to test chembusters. Yeah, chembusters are a technology using orgonite, which people claim that will dissolve chemtrails if you have them in your garden or environment. And I wanted to test it to see, is it real? Does it work? Nobody sent me a chembuster, but this company in Australia sent me this gadget, and they said it works just like a chembuster, but actually works better. And they went into some detail about why the technology, or the way that the chembusters are being created, or orgonite is being created right now, is not really very good for us. So here it is. So I opened it, but I haven't seen what's inside. And yeah, here we go. Let's see what it's like. They told me to go into the website to see how it works. So this is it. It's called a GeoCleanse. I don't know if you can see the type there. It might be too sunny here. And their website is orgonenergy.com. So anyway, we're going to see if it works, right? I'm going to be testing this. Let's see. To see about the chemtrails and also all the other things that they say that this is useful for. Let's see. If I can get into it. Alright. Oops. Sorry. So it feels like a little bit plasticky or rubbery. It says geopathic stress and electromagnetic radiation harmonizer and Wi-Fi harmonizer. Now recently I was looking at an article which I was sent that talked about how a group of girls in Europe, students in a school, had done an experiment where they had placed plants, seedlings, yeah, it was seeds, next to a Wi-Fi router. And they had placed another box away from, or in a room that didn't have it. And the results were amazing. The ones in the room that had the Wi-Fi router didn't grow, and the ones that were in the other room grew normally. So I'm going to test. Once I plug this in, I'm going to put up some plants or some seedlings, some seeds. I bought some seeds as well to see if they grow. And I'm also going to report if I feel anything different energetically as the days go forth, and also up there to see, you know, are there any kind of results on my personal environment. At the moment we have lovely, fluffy white clouds in a deep blue sky, which means no chemtrails at this moment. But I think they did have some this morning. Alright, so very exciting. That's the first thing. Very cool. We're going to be talking about that in the next few months. I said I'm going to test it for 6 months, so that's what I'm going to do. Now, this is another little gadget I bought. And thank you for everybody who sent donations. Your donation is making this happen, this possible. I'm able to spend more time creating these videos, getting the things that I need. This is a little camera, and I'm not really sure how it works, but the sound is not really good, so I had to get some other gadgets and things for the sound, right? I'm going to try and test it. So I switch it on. I can clip it onto my clothes, and this is what I'm going to do to go shopping. So in the next episode you're going to see about conscious shopping and raising our vibration and awareness through shopping. Okay, so I think it says to hang this there in case it falls off. I'm going to switch it on and see what happens. So if this works, then you'll be seeing what I'm seeing right now, and I can look around. Hopefully everything will be showing up really nicely. So one of the things also that I wanted to talk to you about today is the yard. This little patio is like an experiment that I'm doing to see if the plants that I'm connecting with that yield the foods that we need in a more integrated manner. So I'm just going to give you a quicker walk around. If it worked, if this is working, then you're going to see really well. If not, then until next time. Now, let's have a look. So this is very interesting. The sound from this little camera didn't actually work, but you can see the picture is quite good. We will be able to use this for the store trips, but with a different recorder. So here we have a plant that I bought in a store that is not very good. It's not a conscious store. I'm doing an experiment to see if we can actually create or balance the energy in this plant with the elemental, which is really disconnected from the plant. The plant came in a little pot full of chemicals, and the roots are actually solid. It's very unbalanced. We're going to see if we can actually empower it to become balanced with the soil, the physical aspects, and also energetically, just help it to reconnect with its elemental. So we're going to see how that progresses in the next few months. It's going to be interesting. Here we have some tomato plants. I can see now that the camera wasn't pointing in the right direction. We have some basil and some heirloom tomatoes. They're all organic. The basil is organic. The tomatoes come from a store that sells things they don't use chemicals right at the store. So that's really good. And we're going to see if these grow in a little tray so that people who don't have a large yard can grow their own food. See how much food we can grow in here without it overcrowding. We're working very closely with the elementals for these two. This other tomato plant is hanging in a little basket, so that also uses a very tiny little bit of space, and we're going to work with elementals to see if that's good enough or what other things it might need to really provide us with some gorgeous tomatoes. Lettuce here. I'm not sure if that's going to work though. It's all experimentation. I wanted to try different spaces that we can use to grow stuff, yeah? These plants need to be potted. They're just here waiting at the moment. The snails can't climb. These plants over here are for butterflies and for hummingbirds. So, that's it for today. Until the next episode, this is Inelia Benz for Ascension 101 saying bye-bye.